Hello, parent of the Pisces child. How are you? I hope you are all doing well. My name is Elena Valdez. Hi. I am new to this YouTube space and excited to finally get my channel off the ground and going. This is a long time coming now, so thank you. I'm glad that you get to be here today with me. This particular playlist that I'm going to be doing monthly is titled What Your Child Needs Most from You, and it's going to be a monthly read. And I thought that this could be helpful, especially considering everything and all the changes that we're going through, both politically and with the pandemic. And this is not just here in the United States, this is all over the world, right? We're all dealing with different issues and challenges at the moment. So I hope that this read pertaining to your child does bring some help and guidance to you. And please feel free to leave a comment below. My spread here is a 3-question spread. I'm keeping it simple and I'm doing that on purpose because we are dealing with a child, and so I think simplicity is best. And I'm ending my read with an advice card from Spirit for the parent. And just to be clear, this is not only for biological parents, this is also for any guardians, foster parents, or anybody being charged with caring for a child and who's here for some guidance, okay? Again, please remember this is a new channel, so please pardon any glitches that may potentially come up. And I'm also curious to know what age range you are here for, like how old is your child? This will help me better gauge the types of just maybe changing or adding a question if necessary. But for now, this is what I have, so welcome. And again, this is for the Pisces child, for the parent of the Pisces child. Let's get started. I have chosen a tarot deck very deliberately because it has the energy of, we're doing this from the perspective of the child, right? So this is a deck that very much represents the innocence and the energy and vibration and frequency of child energy. So we will end it with a different card for the advice. And this is the deck I'll be using on tarot. And I'm obsessed with this deck. Every card is so adorable. You'll see. Okay, let's get started. I have already pre-shuffled, but I'm going to give it a little more of a shuffle just so you can see, just because I know I like to see my readers shuffle. So okay, and our first question is, what is your Pisces child experiencing during the month of October? What is the Pisces child, Piscean child, experiencing during the month of October? Little Pisceans are so cute and sweet. Okay, let's see. Ace of Swords. Oh, very nice. Isn't that cute? See, I told you. Adorable. Okay. And the next position is, what are the challenges that your little Pisces may be facing during the month of October? What are the challenges, or what is the challenge that your little Pisces? Oh, you got 3 cards. Let's see. Do I want? Nope. I'm going to put them back. Don't worry. If anything is meant to come out, it will. It always does. 1 card, please. No more than 2. Thank you, Spirit. What are the challenges that the Pisces child may be facing in October? Oh, yeah, I think that was in that little stack. Okay, there you go, and that's the Tower. So, lots of changes around their little Pisces, huh? Okay. Lots of purple. I'm seeing lots of purple, lots of blue. You may have a little Piscean right now completely obsessed with these colors too. Okay, and the third position is, what does your Pisces child need most from you during the month of October? I really feel this is the most important question. This is the most important position in the spread. So what does the Pisces child need most from their, that's too many. That's too many, Spirit. Give me one or two. What does the Pisces child need most from their guardian or parent during the month of October? Very nice. Very nice. Okay, the Hierophant. Aren't these adorable? I love these cards. Yeah, look at the difference here, right? You have this energy, this bluish purple, and bam, you have this like beautiful, beautiful yellow. Okay, so let's get started. So your child, what little Pisces is experiencing in October is the Ace of Swords. So you may be dealing with, your child may be experiencing, new ways of communicating, right? New forms and new styles, perhaps coming into new words, new mental stimulation as well, because Ace of Swords is anything new that has to do with like creatively writing, speaking, communicating in general. They may also be experiencing this new, if you have a little one who's just recently returned to school, depending on where you are in the world, you may be returning to the classroom, or you may be returning to the classroom but online, right? I know some districts, some countries and counties are able to return physically to the classroom. Here in the US, it's pretty limited. Most kiddos are still studying online. But depending on where you are, this could be, this could be what's happening with you. You may have a child who's returned to school since COVID, but online, and they're having to deal with that complexity, right? They're dealing that. It's not a stressful card at all. If anything, they're gaining, they're acclimating to this quite well. It's just new, and it's taking them some time to learn and get used to the process, okay? But they're having, this little guy, he's holding the sword upright. He's not dropping it. He's, it's new, it's something different, but he's confidently holding it, okay? And he's being, if you notice the way he's standing on that little, I want to say it's a cloud or cotton candy. I'm not sure what it is, but there's balance there. He's being supported, right? She, he, they is being supported. And so I think that your little one may be although experiencing quite a new way of communicating, is feeling supported, is being supported, and has got a grip on it. Even if maybe at first it doesn't seem that way, you may at the beginning experience a little bit of resistance because, he's not fully, or she's not fully taking the sword, right? But is taking it and without dropping it. So there is some command there. So yeah, so that's what's going on in terms of that's what your child is experiencing. So whatever you can do to facilitate that, and of course you probably already know this, but be aware that it is new for your child. And I think sometimes as parents or guardians, we focus on something and we experience it from our lens and forget that our little ones are experiencing, their own way. So while we may be thinking it's a stressful situation, your child may actually be enjoying this. Yeah, I just picked up also for a little ones. You have a little Piscean child that just started speaking, saying his or her first little words there. I just got that. That must be adorable. That's coming in October. You're going to have one that all of a sudden starts talking. So be ready for that. That's exciting. Yeah, because how old would that be? If you have a little Pisces who was born, let's say, yeah, I don't know how, like what age range, but yeah, you might have one that's starting to say new words or whatnot. Okay, so that's what's going on in October in terms of their experience. And in terms of a challenge, this is a heavy challenge here, right? So that's change. And notice how the little house there has fallen or is falling, right? And the little guys are like falling, but it's what I like about this tower is that although it's dark, it's purple, blue, that lightning is yellow, which is hopeful, right? It's a positive change. In other words, you probably moved. You probably moved from one school district to another. So maybe you moved to a different home to be in a better school district or a different school district for your child. I'm getting that heavily, actually, that some of you may have specifically moved for that reason. But in addition to that, there is, and it could just be moving to a different school. And so the change of even just going back to school, that's a huge, huge stressful thing for children, right? Because they're having to get out of whatever environment or routine they got used to. Even if it is still online, it's still a change. It's different, right? So that's something for you to be mindful that whatever this move is, whatever this thing that came apart is, and also perhaps you see how these little guys, you have these two little monsters there in purple that are separated by this tree or this branch. I feel like perhaps there's a little separation, and I don't see it as a bad separation, but maybe one of the parents is traveling more often in October or away for whatever reason, or working more, because the experience from the perspective of the child, the perspective sees some separation there. It could also be if your child is physically going to school, they may be struggling with being separate from the little sibling, you see? A little sibling there, maybe a little pet, maybe the parents, because remember, this is the perspective of the child. So they may be experiencing a tower moment having to go to school, like physically being removed from the home to go to school. So for them, this could be very difficult. They may be missing the things they love at home. And Piscean children, they are very sensitive that way, right? And so, they need to have, all the things that they love surrounding them. And so you could have a little Pisces there that's really being hit hard by this change. And you just need to be aware of that to facilitate whatever ease you can for your little one in whatever way your little one needs it. And interestingly enough, what your child needs most from you is the Hierophant, and that's order, that's consistency, right? The Hierophant is staying the course, tradition, that which is known, that which has always been there and has gone through the times, has proven to stay steady. Okay, so in the context of this reading and what your child needs you to continue creating that stability in the midst of the big change, right? So in whatever ways you can create that, you see you have these little guys here completely looking up to the parent in terms of just creating the order, or looking up to the parent as, okay, what's next now? What are we doing? And if there is this big change, what can you do in the home to create some sense of all is well, this is normal, create some tradition around this new change as well is important here. I think especially for little Pisceans, it's important to have a little tradition. And so, for example, if you did move to a different home, what is something you used to do in your other home that you can now do in this new space? Like, did you have a specific table that you would all gather and put a puzzle together? Well, maybe it's time to find that spot in the new space. So in what ways can you bring tradition and routine that your child is used to into the new reality, whatever that may be, whether it's one parent is traveling more than usual, working more than usual, or in some extreme cases, if there is a separation where parents have separated, where can you create some form of tradition, right? Because if you are going through something as severe as, like, let's say a separation or divorce, or even a more significant loss or career, what have you, you may be in your own grief of that change, right? But remember that your little one still needs you to create something that he or she is comfortable with, that he or she sees as comforting, right? Home, something that represents to the little one. Okay, and again, this could be in anything. It could be a new school, new neighborhood, new way of doing things, whatever that is. You'll know it's going to be specific and different for every household. So this, my friends, is what your little one needs most from you. Create that tradition, create order. And, don't be afraid to continue disciplining also, because Hierophant is about discipline, right? It is about the tried and true. So yeah, it is. It's very much in this context, right? Because again, we're reading this in the context and the perspective of the child. So that could be something as well that you are needing to implement a little bit further with your child, is more discipline. Okay. Alrighty. That's that. Now let's go to the advice from Spirit, and I will be using the Gaian Tarot for that. I love this deck, and it's so perfect for this part of the read. I love it because it has these like portrait-like pictures or images, and every card has an affirmation, which I love. I'll probably just get right to the affirmation for you with whatever you get. Okay, Spirit, what is your advice for the parent of the Piscean child? Now remember, this advice is in relationship to your child, to the Pisces child. What is your advice? What is your advice? For October. Oh, okay, there we go. Four of Fire, another card of stability. So yes, so that confirms this need to create stability around your child, but it's not just for your child, it's for you. So the Four of Fire, it's also traditionally the Four of Wands, and the four symbolizing the even number of four, symbolizing home and symbolizing stability and security. So you may have physically moved, like literally moved from one city to another, or home or something. There is definitely some potential move here. And you're being asked, your advice is to also find that stability within yourself. You see how this woman here is communing with Spirit and Source. So there's a need here to go inward, to commune, to find that inner security, right? What is it? The only constant is change. So usually when the advice here and the reads that I'm doing, the way I'm starting to see this, the way I'm realizing this is coming up now, this advice from Spirit to the adult watching is usually the solution to this challenge. So if you're getting the Four of Fire, which is finding the inner security and whatever you hold sacred and spiritual, you're needing to do for yourself. So that in that groundedness, and I have to tell you that there's a theme, there is a definite pattern and theme in all these reads that I did this month. It's all about creating that inner stability and security, which it makes sense, right? Given the times that and everything we're experiencing. But for you, in order for you to give your child this here, in order for you to be able, that saying, you can't give until your cup is full, and whatever spills over, that's what you can give to others, right? I hope I didn't just butcher that, but I think you know what I'm trying to say. So I think that's the situation here. So your child needs this from you. This is what your child needs most. But some of you may not have your cup full yet to give this, because you may be going through separation, or you may be going through your own change and your own stuff around whatever this is. Because if your child is experiencing a tower moment, you probably most likely are as well, but with a different perspective and a different experience, right? Because you're the adult, so you're going to experience it differently. So in order for you to give your child this here, you need to do this. That's the advice from Spirit. This is what you need for yourself. Tap into your own creativity. What creativity have you buried inside? Because I think sometimes depending on who you are, what your life is about, we sometimes as adults maybe see creativity as luxury, right? Luxurious. But that's where our true essence lives. And creativity is going to be different for everyone. Whatever you were gifted with, whatever creative universe, source gifted you with, is going to be very specific to you. And so what Spirit is advising you, not just advising you, but very much asking you to do, is to tap into any creativity that you have buried deep inside. Allow it to come out, allow it to express. And in that expression of your creativity, and that sacredness to yourself, and that closeness to Spirit, but more importantly, your inner self, you're going to find that security, that stability that you need, not only for yourself, but for your little one here. Especially your little one learning, beginning to speak, or learning a new world and dealing with this. So give yourself permission. If you've been maybe feeling guilty about giving yourself this time and space because, well, you have a child or you have children and you don't have the time to give yourself, you don't have the time to go to a retreat to Joshua Tree or in the desert or wherever for a couple of days because your children need you. See if there's a way to make that happen for yourself. See if there's a way to give yourself the time and space to honor that sacredness that you are, so that you can find that inner, deepest, sacred, stable security. Because once you have it, it'll be so easy for it to flow out and give it to your little one. Okay? All right, let me read the affirmation for the 4 of Fire. Okay. 4 of Fire. Let me look for it here in this book. Nope, not that one. Where did it go? Did I lose it? Here it is. Okay. Here is your affirmation that accompanies this card. I am strong and courageous and have the power to accomplish anything I choose to do. I am strong and courageous and have the power to accomplish anything I choose to do. All right. So give yourself the time and space, and enjoy October. And I know that these changes are a bit tough on some of you, but you have all the resources within you to create the security that you need, that you, your child, and your family needs. Okay. I hope that was helpful to someone. Have a wonderful October, everyone, and I hope to see you back here in November. Bye.